everybody. It's Bryan C. Dunn with CalCoachingandLife.com. I am the Lazy Life Coach, and I want to thank you for being here today. Maybe you've heard me on Business Radio FM out of New York, or perhaps you've heard me on the Divya Parekh Show on iHeartRadio, or recently have seen me and my guest, Berit Ladefoged, here on The Business Doctor with Dr. Stephen Kalaluhi, his television show. So thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. And Berit, thank you for being here. Berit is the CEO of CalCoachingandLife.com, which I am part of. So Berit.
And thank you for inviting me, Bryan. It's a deep pleasure to be here with you speaking about hypnosis, and thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. So Berit, you have a business background. You've worked in, if you're a follower of mine, you know that I've taught for 20 years, taught special ed for 20 years, and been in the education field. But Berit, you've been in the business world. So let me ask you, what do you think are kind of maybe the top couple areas or problems that business might benefit from hypnosis?
I think that the hugest problem that we have today in corporate is lack of results. I think that what we see in companies are savings, it is tendering, and it is the lack of understanding what it is required to create business. Business is about creating and growing and achieving through services towards people. So where do I think that hypnosis and havening can come in and support people? I think that leadership is what we need. And one of the places where you see tough leadership, leaders are afraid that employees are going to be better than them. There is so much struggling about do as I say and manage the task. But where hypnosis and havening can support a leader is, I think, in the lack of confidence. And I think that you can enroll that a little better than I, but that's definitely one of the areas that I see among other areas as well, but definitely one.
You know what, that's really fascinating, because that's not an area that I would normally think about with regards to business. So that is interesting. Yeah, actually hypnosis is brilliant. It kind of de-stressing people, which causes a lack of confidence. But we can also enhance that along with motivation and innovation, inventiveness, things like that. And hypnosis is also a very good way to deal with things effectively. So rather than just kind of popping your cork and getting angry or just kind of fizzling out, actually hypnosis is brilliant. And I'm glad you mentioned havening. For those of you that are unfamiliar, havening is an approach that I use that actually gets rid of anxiety and gets rid of trauma. It actually changes the brain back the way it should be. And you're absolutely right. Frequently, we carry our anxiety in with us. We carry the trauma in with us to our business. And how can that not affect?
I think that today, with all the technology that we've had come in and support the business, it's come to a zero mistake culture and this perfect snapshot of what the world looks like right now. Right now, are you the most beautiful thing, or are you the right person? And I mean, it's when you make an application for a job, it's the algorithm that decides whether you get to an interview or not. Is
right.
That the approach?
So we're dealing with self-esteem as well. You're absolutely right. I mean, and oftentimes we're kicking ourselves before we even get to the interview. We're taking ourselves out of the game before we get the opportunity to. And, my approach is that we control only two aspects of our life, our thoughts and our actions. And everything up beyond that is beyond our control. So let's take control of what we have control over, and which is a lot, yeah. And so that's great.
And I think exactly like you say, take control of our thoughts and our actions. that's the toughest part, because right now where we stand is that most people are afraid to ask. And I think a little bit, especially for coaching and life, the fact that you can take an hour with you and then an hour with a business coach and an hour with you, depending upon your situation and what you want. But in the end, in the reality, the ability to support people to perform better, that's the leadership, that you can help people do better than they would had they not met you. And I mean, last time I got fired, I mean, I tried that, and that was a zero mistake culture. It was tough, and I mean, on my own self-esteem, it was good to leave. Go ahead.
You had mentioned, coaching in life, which and kind of our tagline is a place to ask. The nice thing about that is, because we're a place to ask, people are frequently too fearful to ask. And, more so, people don't know the right questions to ask sometimes. And that's where we come in, is with the hypnosis, I can help them formulate those questions, kind of clear out all the junk. And like you were saying with Cal, we've got not only myself as a hypnotherapist, a Havener, and a coach, but we've got business coaches, and we have transformational coaches, and we have, kind of spiritual, coaches, and we've even got a love coach, Troy Rawlings, the love coach. That's right. So there are a lot of avenues that clients can take, that individuals can take, that address all of their specific needs. And interaction in the workplace is so lacking anymore. The synergy's not there. It's that top down sort of approach where it's what I say goes. But you see the companies that are really succeeding, Google and the like, they're all every employee is involved, and they take care of their employees. And boy, what a nice environment to work at there. I mean, a lot of pressure there as well. But, getting rid of the stress, getting rid of the anxiety, and, allowing people to take risks. You had said that, and that stuck in my head. It's a zero mistake culture. But by being able to take those risks and be okay with that, that's super important. It's super important for not only management to accept, but what's even more important is we fear taking risks. We fear we're going to look dumb, or we fear that, well, what are they going to think about me? And when we start to merge that as part of us, as we become, I'm not going to say, just wild, nutty risk takers, but, opening your mind, understanding the process behind where you're going, taking appropriate risks, and then taking it a little bit further. And that's where innovation, and I've talked in past videos about failure, and that the entrepreneurs that are very successful, they never fail. It bombs, they look at it, they say, what worked, what didn't work, let's move on, let's fix what didn't work, and we'll do it again. And so, I'm glad you mentioned that. We get so kind of stuck in our ways, and hypnosis can help you change those ways. Especially, ask yourself this: are you the kind of person that says, well, that's just how I do things, right?
Or think about the person that says like this: I only like it my way. You have a boss that wants things in a specific way, that you get so cylinder view that you can only see your view. And I think that's why you see the lack of performance from a lot of companies today. So I think that one of the questions that came to me from one of the people that wrote in is, especially, should they be worried about hypnosis?
Oh, that's a good question. You know what? Hypnosis is a short answer: no. Hypnosis is a natural phenomena. It's just what we call the process of allowing you to get into the part of your mind that you don't normally have access to. your mind, your subconscious mind, you breathe, you blink, your heart beats, all those things, your cells split and everything. Your mind is making all of that work. But you also have other areas of your mind that you don't want easy access to, your long-term memories, your habits, your fears, your phobias. Some of those things you want to change, and some of those things actually protect you. So all hypnosis is the tool to get you to a place where you can make those changes for those things. And you asked a question, but a lot of people think that it's mind control. And if it's mind control, I would be rich. I'd be living on an island somewhere. And, so it's not mind control. In fact, most of my clients, when they come out of the hypnotic trance, they say, I don't think I was hypnotized. And I said, well, why do you say that? They said, well, I could have opened my eyes at any time. I could hear everything you said. I'm like, yeah, that's hypnosis. We get the crazy ideas from the movies and everything, which, don't get me wrong, I love. They're great plot devices, but they're not always factual. So yeah, it's not mind control. I can't control your mind. If I could, I'd have a much bigger office with better lighting on my video.
There's another question that we got, and that question is, how can they reach you? How can they get an opportunity to talk to you, Bryan, before they make their choice?
That is the perfect question. In fact, I think getting a hold of me is super important. That's right. The easiest way is going to be, you can call me 760-985-8270 to ask any questions. I'm always willing to, or you can get a hold of me through Cal. If you want to follow through with booking some appointments, it's info@coachingandlife.com. And that's going to be the best way to book through Cal. But you can also, my personal business alongside of Cal is Sage Hypnotherapy. So you can get a hold of me at sagehypnosiscenter@gmail.com to ask any questions there. Or go on Facebook and find me, Bryan C. Dunn, or Sage Hypnotherapy. But really, if you go to Cal, you can ask questions there. You hit the forums. If you email us there, I will be able to get to you in some way, shape, or form. Or maybe you've got questions about one of the other coaches that I've mentioned. Maybe you're having a relationship issue that you want to deal with, and you want to talk to Troy Rawlings. Maybe you're dealing with some spiritual concerns that you want to contend with, and that we got Lisa Ferguson. Or maybe you want to talk about business with Berit Ladefoged, which is, oh, by the way, Berit's in Denmark right now. So we've got this great time shift, which is why I look like I just woke up, and she looks like she's ready to have dinner. Are you?
I had dinner.
You had dinner. That's great.
I had dinner.
Super. So yeah, that's a great question, because me, I always forget to tell people how to get a hold of me.
I guess that's why they wrote me and asked me, how do we get a hold of Bryan? And I think
probably I've got a little card down here that I'm always like, okay, don't forget to mention that. Just real quick, I'll give you some other ideas that are going to help with business. Being able to analyze your projects, being able to innovate, problem solving is a big one. Synergy in the office place, past traumas, personal issues. A lot of Fortune 500 CEOs use hypnotherapy to help them kind of take care of the at-home issues and leave them at home so they can really focus on their business. Or stress, just stress management. You want to stop smoking. You want to deal with some pain management. In fact, I helped one of our other coaches, Roxanne, deal with pain management. She was going for a pretty invasive surgery, and so that worked out really well. Yeah, we've got a real good team with Cal, and I'm really excited to be part of it, especially with Eric, because I'm getting to learn more and more Danish every day.
And there's one thing that I wanted to before we wrap up. What are we going to talk about next week? Because I want to be in on your show next week.
You do? That's so nice of you. So I'm thinking we should probably talk about dealing with difficult people in the workplace. What do you think? That seems to be pretty pervasive.
I think that's a good one.
Yeah, and if you know how to deal with the irritating people, the people that tell you, you should do it this way, or you need to, nothing drives me up the wall more than someone saying, you need to do this. Oh, yeah. You know what you need to do? Yeah, I'm not going to.
No, but I've tried that one, and I actually think that this one you ought to, and you're not performing, you're not doing what I am expecting you to. I am not, you're not, you are not. This push out of the expectations on employees or what it is, it's actually more destructive than even as a life coach. I am surprised how destructive it is. Even as a stress coach, I am still also surprised how how it destroys you as a person. Mm-hmm. And I truly understand why people lose engagement in their jobs and just becomes small. Yes, I'm going to do that. Yes. And then just, leave the whole mindset. What do you want? Oh, this is what you want. Okay, then I'll do that. I fully understand where that's coming, but companies don't make money of that. Companies make money because you create it.
That's right. Well,
companies make money because you're better.
We're going to talk about some of the different destructive patterns and behaviors. And if you're lucky, I'll even give you a little tip on how to deal with very difficult people, which is it's fun also. Because me, as the lazy life coach,
I can't wait to hear that one.
Yeah, I'm the lazy life coach. Minimal investment, maximum gains. That's what I want. I want to know the little things.
Are you sure that's you?
That's my goal, is to just invest minimal. I wind up doing a lot though, for being such the lazy life coach. I need to really follow through with this, don't I? But yeah, if I can just learn little things. In fact, when I taught, I told my students, I'm like, work smart, not hard. Something may be involved, but don't kill yourself over it, because especially if you can get the same results with less effort. Yeah.
And you're telling that to a work alcoholic?
That's true. That's true. And she is, guys, believe me, she is. Because when it's daytime for her, I'm sleeping and I get all those messages. It's like, what are you doing right now? 2 a.m.
That's what I do.
Yes, what I'm doing. All right, hey, thank you, Berit. I appreciate you being here. I always appreciate you. And thank all of you.
Thank you very much for allowing me. It has been a pleasure. I look forward to it again. I am always willing to learn from you. It's an experience, and you are the best hypnotist I know.
Oh, shucks.
We need to get more hypnotists on Coaching in Life, so that
you don't know any other hypnotists, do you?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Because when people say,
I actually know a few of you.
You're my favorite son. I'm your only son.
Yes.
That's not true. I've got a brother he likes much better than me. So, right. Hey, thank you for being here, everybody. Hopefully, we'll be hearing from you once again, and you'll probably see it on the screen. Hit up coachinginlife.com, check things out. We've got some memberships, we've got some forums, we've got some merchandise, which I will wear next week. I'm a coach, ask me, which you too can purchase on the website to get more business to you. That's right. So if you have any questions, info@coachinginlife.com. And if you have any specific questions about hypnosis or hypnotherapy or havening, which is pretty fascinating, you can email me at sagehypnosiscenter@gmail.com. Until we meet again, everybody, inhale relaxation. Pay attention and be well.